By the winter of 1776, the Continental Army had lost battles in New York and retreated south into New Jersey. Unless the battling colonists could stop the British, Philadelphia would soon be under attack as well. General Washington came up with a daring plan. He knew that Hessians, German troops hired by Britain, were camping near Trenton, New Jersey. Many people believed they would soon head to Philadelphia. On December 26, 1776, Washington gathered some of his troops near McConkey's Ferry, Pennsylvania. This site is known today as Washington Crossing. Quietly climbing into boats, they sneaked across the icy Delaware River at night. They arrived at the Hessians' camp during a Christmas party and quickly defeated them. Washington and his men went on to win an important battle at Princeton, New Jersey. They camped for the winter in Morristown, New Jersey, about 80 miles to the north of Philadelphia. But the war was still moving closer to that key city. Back in Philadelphia, Betsy's life was changing again. She had met a sailor named Joseph Ashburn. On June 15, 1777, Betsy Ross became Betsy Ashburn when the pair married at the Old Swedes Church in Philadelphia. Betsy continued to be busy at work. That spring, she was paid £14 and 12 shillings, about $2,600, for Pennsylvania ship flags known as colors. One of those flags was flown aboard a ship called the Hetty. Joseph had joined the ship's crew not long after their wedding. Just 3 weeks after Ashburn married Betsy, his ship headed out as part of the young American Navy. One of the first battles he fought was near Brandywine Creek, just west of Philadelphia. The colonial troops lost the Battle of Brandywine. That opened the way for British troops to move forward and capture Philadelphia. Thousands of citizens fled to the countryside and safety. Betsy decided to stay. She had a business to run. On September 26, 1777, led by Lord Cornwallis and General William Howe, the British advanced into the city. Row after row of red-coated soldiers marched through the streets as Betsy and her neighbors looked on. The army band played, but no one sang along. The soldiers moved into the city's buildings and filled city parks. The officers took control of the fancy homes of some of the wealthier residents. The British even camped in the same building where Congress had met. They tore out walls to make the first floor into housing for troops. They put beds on the second floor to care for wounded American prisoners. A week later, Washington tried to attack British forces staying outside the city near Germantown, but the colonial army was beaten back. Wounded soldiers from both sides were carried the 6 miles back to Philadelphia. Betsy was among the many women who helped take care of the men. They rolled bandages and sewed slings and blankets. Not long after this defeat, Washington made camp for the winter and spring at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. For 7 months, his troops suffered there with little food or shelter. Even though Philadelphia was only 20 miles away, British troops blocked any help from reaching Washington and his men. Betsy and other patriots made clothing and tents for the men. The clothes, food, and other supplies were sneaked out of the city and quietly transported to the starving soldiers. During this time, Betsy did not know where her new husband was. His ship had not come back to Philadelphia yet. There was no way for him to get word to her. She did not know if he was even alive.